I'm making this video for all the young mothers out there who have a lot of anxiety and stress, whether are they being good mothers and are they doing it right. And this is more of a personal sharing from my own experience, and I'm hoping that based on my personal experience you might get some insights or understanding, and also based on what I have done and not done. So when I was this young mother, I remember that for me, being a mother was like a project. I had to get it right because, of course, I'm a perfectionist, and I took motherhood very seriously. So right from feeding the child on time, cleaning, getting the best clothes, making sure that, my children did well in school, their birthday parties had to be right, the room had to be clean, the house had to be nicely done, and everything was, for me, had to be done perfectly because I had to be a good mother. And in this process, what started happening was I realized now looking back that I was focusing more on what I should be doing versus actually enjoying those moments. And so what would happen is that I was very, very caught up in making sure that their tiffins had the right kind of food, they had a variety to eat, they were eating nutritious food, the breakfast should be on time, the lunch has to be timed, dinner has to be on time, the clothes have to be folded, and all of that. And besides being a perfect mother, of course, I also had to be the good, homemaker. I had to be the good wife. So in managing and trying to be, very good in all these areas, what I ended up doing personally was I ended up accumulating a lot of stress. And hence, while I did everything right by the book as a mother, I missed out on spending those fun moments with my children, which I could have if I was not so caught up in getting it right. So I know now, looking back, that if for a few days I had not served the dinner on time, it was okay. I don't think the kids would have minded so much, or if their lunch boxes were not perfect, or if their clothes were not ironed as well. But instead, if I had spent moments trying to have fun with them in the playground, enjoyed their games with them, or laughed a lot more with them, then I'm sure that our connection and bond would have been much stronger. So now I get this understanding, but back then I didn't have this understanding. And so for me, it was, bringing up kids, taking care of them, and the house became an extremely stressful process. And this stress somehow also seeped into my relationship with my kids. On top of this, at some point, I also started working. Now I also had to do well at work. So imagine, with all of this, what happened is that I didn't even realize when the kids grew bigger and older. And while they did appreciate, I'm sure they do appreciate that I did everything right for them, I personally felt I missed out on all those little moments of enjoying their 5-year-old self with their 3-year-old self, their 8-year-old self, and the fun things that I could have done with them at that age. So I'm making this video specifically to remind the young moms, because I get a lot of questions from young mothers, and I can sense that they are very anxious, they want to get it right. I would say that when you look back at my age, you would realize that most of these things don't matter as much as enjoying the journey matters, spending those moments with your children. Interestingly, my husband used to do that well. So he would come from office and he would spend a lot of time having fun. He was not really worried about whether the food was on time or not, or the kids were getting things right. In fact, if there were guests at home, I would be caught up in, how many starters I should make and what food I should cook. And in all that process, I forgot to enjoy the journey. So I would just like to say that and for me, I had no pressure from anybody. Like, neither my in-laws nor my husband really expected me to be the perfect housewife or the perfect wife or the perfect mother. But it was all my own expectation. So I would just like to say that please hold back on this, be mindful, and do not forget to enjoy the journey of motherhood, because the destination is definitely good, but ultimately it is a journey that really is what matters. Today, when my kids are teenagers and adults, I miss those moments that I could have had spent in having fun with them. Right now, it really didn't matter. They don't even probably remember whether the room was organized every day or not, or whether their return gifts in their birthday parties, what was there in it or not. But I'm sure they would have remembered a lot more memories if I had made with them, taking them out, having fun, enjoying with them. So I would just like to tell the young mothers that please take it easy. Do not take your motherhood and the journey of motherhood so seriously that it makes you a very serious person like I was. I would say that have a lot of fun with your kids, enjoy, become like them, and have fun with them. Even if you don't cook that meal on time or you don't finish their homework on time, the teacher will call you up and probably say, "Arey, what kind of a mother, you're not, doing this well." It's okay. Just make sure that you enjoy the journey with your child, because they will not be children anymore. And when they are my kids' age, you will look back and you will wish that you had done it differently. So I hope this helps. This was a personal sharing more than anything else, and I'm sharing it just because I see so many moms who remind me of my own young self. So I hope this helps some of you out there, and I will also be making this in Hindi for my Hindi followers.